when an employee requests a partial day off, you'll first approve the time off request and then make a schedule adjustment for that day. The time off request will be emailed to you so that you'll see the date, April 1st, and the times that are partial, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. that the employee is requesting. You would then click on your bell icon and click the Approve button for the request that you're going to approve. After the request is approved, you need to adjust the schedule. So from your navigation panel, under Manage Schedule and Schedules, you would select the schedule that contains the date. In this case, 4/1 falls between 3/31 and 4/6, and I'll click on the icon that says Day View. When the Day View schedule opens up, it will open up to the day, the first day of that schedule, so we'll have to move in this case to April 1st. And the schedule shows us everybody that could be scheduled that day. So to isolate just the people that are on the schedule, in the top right, we'll click on the Cost Centers link. Now we can go into Fire Administration to Sean, click on the ellipsis at the end of his shift, and select Manage. Once we're in the shift, we're going to want to split the shift to carve out the time that Sean is going to be off. So on the shift timeline, again clicking the ellipsis, we can select Split Shift. And what you'll see is you'll have the first part of the shift and then the split shift up here. So the first part of the shift is what we're going to want to carve out, and we want to carve that out at 12 p.m. So in this case, under Shift Ends, we're going to select 12p. We're going to click on the employee selection, and we're going to remove Sean by highlighting and deleting him, and then clicking on the second part of the shift. The rest of the shift is going to go from 12 p.m. to 5:36 and is going to remain with Sean. So once we click Save, you'll see that Sean now is on jury duty from 7 to 12. He comes back to work from 12 to 5:36, and there's now an open shift from 7 to 12 that can be assigned to somebody. An employee may request a partial shift that is in the middle of their shift. The approval process would be the same, except we would have to split the schedule twice. So again, you would receive an email from the employee letting you know the type of time off, the date, and the times of the partial request. So in this case, it's on April 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. that they need off. Go into our bell icon. We would look for that particular request and click Approve. And then we would navigate to the schedule that contained April 3rd. Go to the Day View for that employee. Select the date, April 3rd. Isolate to the employee that we're looking for. Click on the ellipsis and Manage, and split the shift the first time in the ellipsis, split shift, and we're going to split it at 10 a.m. Sean is going to work the 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. schedule, so there's no adjustment that we need to make there, and we would first click Save. When we come back to the schedule view, we'll see that there are now two schedules, 7 a.m. to 10 and 10 a.m. to 5:36. We're going to go to the ellipsis for the second schedule and split it again to carve out the time that Sean needs out. So when we click Manage, we'll then go to the ellipsis on the shift time and say to split from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the time that Sean is going to be out. So in this case, we go down to the employee selection and we remove Sean to make this section an open shift, and then Sean will remain on the 2 to 5:36 shift when he comes back to work. Clicking Save will now show that Sean has his bereavement time from 10 to 2 and is working from 7 to 10 and from 2 to 5:36. And now you'll see that there's an open shift from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. that can be assigned to an employee. The other type of partial day request might be when an employee is going to swap. This is handled the exact same way as the partial day request, except instead of leaving the portion of the shift open, we'll assign it to the person who is going to trade with that employee. So again, we would receive an email notification, and it would let us know that there's a swap going to happen on April 2nd from the last part of the shift from 1 to 5:36. And importantly, in the note, it's going to let us know who we're going to assign that swap to, and that time is going to be owed because the reciprocal trade has not yet been arranged. Go into our bell icon. We'll approve the swap off from 1 to 5:36. And then we'll go to the schedule for April 2nd. Open up in Dayview. Go to April 2nd. Isolate the employees scheduled. And now we're going to do the split, clicking on the ellipsis and choosing Manage for the shift. In the shift time, clicking on Split Shift. And we're going to make the first part of the shift 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that is going to stay assigned to Sean. We'll click on the split shift from 1 to 5:36. Click on Employee Selection. We could sort the list alphabetically and scroll down to Elwood Fonts and click OK and click Save. When we click Save and come back to the schedule, we'll see that Sean is working 7 to 1 and then is on a swap from 1 to 5:36. And now we see Woody has been added to the schedule from 1 to 5:36.